ball game.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Shonen Hoops with your boys, Andy and Omar. Well, we're on to part 3 of our NBA kind of like season reactions. We did East good, East bad, and today we are going to be doing the West bad. The West teams that have disappointed us just, from the get-go in a sense, bro. I don't know. So Omar, I'm gonna start us off with something that I think everybody can kind of agree with. Where I'm gonna go with the Pelicans. Okay, obviously, we said it last time with the East bad that we're trying not to fall too much on injuries, which have riddled the Northern Pelicans. But I actually want to focus more on the It obviously goes down to the players, but I think it's my still personal opinion of Zion Williamson, of him being he can't be consistent, if that makes sense. Lately, he's been popping off. Every now and then I'll see him pop off, but he'll take a game off because of injuries.
Hey, we blew them out. That's all I know.
That's what I'm saying. That they haven't been a actual full. I don't even know how many actual full games they played. Like as the starting five. Like who knows how many games they played together?
Chacho.
I mean, you can tell me. I like.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's just been so. It's been the season, right? And
not a lot.
Yeah, but fair point. But then again, like I said, my gripe is actually with Zion Williamson. Everybody was out here in the beginning like Zion Williamson, next big thing, woo woo woo. Then Wembanyama came and he's the shiny new toy, and everybody grabs Zion Williamson. Was like, oh, I'm done playing with you. Like you've been injured. You have a Naruto tattoo on your belly. What are you doing? Eating wings? What are we doing here?
Man, I wonder what fool drafted him 4 years in a row.
All I know is some guy had believed in him, and I feel like you should. Third time is not the charm. Was my word. But that's why, for me personally, I guess it's more of a disappointment in Zion Williamson, which in effect affects the whole Pelicans organization because. It took them forever, let's be real here, to get something for Brandon Ingram. And what they got, Omar would probably know more than I would, because it just probably wasn't that great.
I'm gonna look it up just to refresh to make sure I get the trade package right. But for me, yeah. So for me, the Pelicans are disappointing in fact. Yeah, Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk.
New Orleans Pelicans, to me, yes, they are number 3 and disappointing for me, but the record doesn't bother me. In fact, I'm happy with how Zion's looking right now. It's the fact, because injuries happen, I'm not going to bash the team for injuries, I don't bash players for injuries, I don't do that. But the Pelicans, with the trade return they got for Brandon Ingram, and the fact that they traded Brandon Ingram without getting answering the center question moving forward. You still don't have what center you're going to play moving forward. You didn't get a lot back for Ingram. So I'm assuming you're still going to keep DeJounte Murray. What are you going to do with CJ McCollum? Is he still part of your future moving forward? Because Trey Murphy needs to start. Hawkins has looked solid as of late. Zion is being Zion. So it's like, at this point, you have to be able to answer the center question important. You haven't done it this season while moving Ingram, and that's why to me they're number 3 disappointing because of what they've done this year with those two pieces.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So it's okay. So I guess what we can agree though, it's like the team has just been mishandled, and they aren't going toward the right directions in our opinions of like getting better. They're gonna be stuck where they're at for a bit, and for me they honestly kind of look like. Not saying the Hawks are bad, but they look like not even the Hawks. They actually look like they kind of, for me, compared to the Bulls, where it's like their best is still mediocre because it's still play-ins. It's until something changes, I think that's their ceiling as of right now. So then, Omar, what would you say is your second disappointment?
Second disappointment are the Sacramento Kings.
Oh, okay, they're not on my list. So
for me, it's. You were basically forced into trading De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
You didn't get Stephon Castle. You really didn't get any young pieces for Fox. And on top of that, you chose to double down on collecting talent without fit. You acquired Zach LaVine. Now this all changes if you're able to move off some of these pieces in the offseason to finally rebuild. Because the way you're constructed now with starting Monk, LaVine, DeRozan, Sabonis, like with that core, you're not winning anything, dog. Like you're not competing at the top of the West. You're not as bad as the bottom. You're not as bad as the bottom. So you're stuck in NBA purgatory, and it's not it. That's not the point of it. Unless you're cool with it, then I guess. But you were forced to move. You were forced to trade De'Aaron Fox and didn't get anything in return. And you didn't move off your other pieces to go into a rebuild yet.
Yeah. I agree. They kind of just did a reunion tour of the Chicago Bulls like 2 years ago in Sacramento. So you're right. The thing is though, they're not on my list just because yes, they're a disappointment, but I didn't expect them to be anywhere.
Keegan Murray, that's what it was. Keegan Murray, that was the other guy.
But I expected them to be in play-ins. They're in play-ins right now. I think they're ninth, so they're kind of where I expected them to be. Now, De'Aaron Fox acting for a trade, and the whole mess of that, not figuring out whether they're going to be rebuilding or if they're just going to get a whole bunch of vets to try to like make a playoff run. That was unexpected, but in the end result, they're still a playing team, so nothing's changed from there. So,
I guess. Okay, fair.
So for me, I'm disappointed in the San Antonio Spurs, obviously because of injuries, right? Like it sucks. That I'm not faulting the team at all. Honestly, weirdly enough, it's like, I'm disappointed, but I'm also like, their future in the next couple of years are gonna be disgusting. But I did think they'd make the plans. Obviously, injuries happen. Can't expect, the blood clots on Wemby's shoulder, or De'Aaron Fox being shut down for finger surgery or hand surgery, I believe. It happens. I'm just disappointed because I did want to see a good playoff run in his sophomore year. Sophomore? Yeah. But I'm more excited for the future, but I am disappointed with this year because they were treading toward making the plans, and that's at least where I wanted to see him. I want to see Wemby in that playoff mode to take the next level of seeing how players act when there is that new level they need to reach, and I wanted to be able to see Wemby in that level. Sadly, I have to wait another year, so I guess that's where my disappointment comes from.
That's fair. I guess for me, just personally, I didn't have San Antonio making the playoffs. But they completed the goals I wanted them to. They played a lot more meaningful games later into the year. It's unfortunate with Wembanyama's injury, and now they're just flat out tanking, shutting down De'Aaron Fox for the year. So it's okay. I'm cool with it. It sucks. Injuries suck, but they completed what I thought they needed to complete this year.
Okay. All right. And then what's your second? Oh, their first?
Yeah, my first are. I think we should show the number one as well out here. The Phoenix Suns.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Same
awful.
Here. All right.
Kevin Durant has been Kevin Durant all year long. He's been fantastic. This has been a down year for Devin Booker, but again, it's just a lot of other teams. This is just a collection of talent that just hasn't meshed. They don't have a center. They've been swapping out centers all year long. Tyus Jones proved you needed a point guard, but you waited way too long, and it just hasn't been working. We already know Kevin Durant's getting traded in the offseason.
Yep.
I pray for Phoenix, considering what they gave up to get Durant, that they're able to get an adequate return for KD without completely burning down the franchise for the next 5 to 6 years.
I don't know, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. It's looking rough for Phoenix. It sucks because, from the get-go, everybody knew what was gonna happen. It was like, if this don't work, Phoenix have given up everything for this one moment, and they sadly did not aim for the head. They did not get anywhere near where they wanted to go. Well, they made it once. They made it once to the finals, and everyone was like, maybe they'll run it back. Yeah, that was a different time, but now we're wasting not only the last twilight years of Kevin Durant, but now are we going to be potentially also wasting Devin Booker's prime, where he should be getting even better and better, where he's just been looking more mediocre. Devin Booker's still a great player, don't get me wrong, but he has not been playing like the Devin Booker we know, or we should have been seeing get better and better each year. And that's obviously the organization, you know.
Yeah, I'm not putting that on Devin at all. It's just the construction. You collected a lot of good talent. Bradley Beal is still a very good player. He's essentially the same, not as good as Booker, I don't think anymore, but essentially the same player. And you just added a lot of good talent that just doesn't fit well together. And fit matters. This is another thing. How many times are we going to see a big three fall apart because they don't have the depth, number one, and they just don't fit? Now, you have to decide whether or not you're going to move Booker, because you can't move Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is going to be in Phoenix until his contract up. He's not waiving that no trade clause. This trade deadline has made that perfectly clear. So now, is it hope maybe Durant ends up in Houston, so Phoenix can get some young talent and some draft picks back? He ends up in Minnesota for Julius Randle, like DiVincenzo, so Phoenix can still compete. It's just a matter of where. We know Kevin Durant's going to get moved. It's just a matter of where and what that looks for Phoenix.
Yep, it's going to be a crazy offseason, but obviously the one little light that Phoenix Suns fans can hold on to is if they do a good run in the playoffs, then maybe they stick together. But they ain't beating nobody they ain't beating a top 4 West team. No way in hell, bro. I barely think they can be the people they have to be in the play-ins. The only reason, the only reason they're even going to make the play-ins is because of the Dallas Mavericks, which is a whole different mess that we're not even going to touch, because every single person that watches this should already know that Dallas is an embarrassment of an organization, but screw that. The Phoenix Suns got lucky that whoever owns the Dallas Mavericks now owns it, because that's what saved them a play-in spot. And that just shows how much of a disappointment the people that own the Phoenix Suns, the management, just the way they form their team.
We're not doing that. We're not going to do that. Yeah. Ownership in Phoenix has been amazing. They've been they've been willing to pay for championship caliber team. They collected championship caliber talent. It just didn't fit. At least they're trying. That's a lot more than we can say about some of these other franchises in the league.
All right, that's fair. Still, they're the ones that took the gamble.
That's fine. I'd rather see a team gamble to try to win it all than fall apart.
And that's why your team's in the play-ins, man. I'd rather not see a gamble. My team's also in the play-ins, but they're dog shit.
My team didn't gamble.
Yeah, man,
my team doubled
right.
down.
Yeah, you're right. And look where you are now. You're not happy on either side.
That's why I want to gamble. Anyways, like,
guys.
comment, subscribe. See you guys next time.
Peace.